So the last topic for our course, Government Procurement Reform Act or GPRA. So this is Republic Act number 9184. Okay, the GPRA. It was approved on January 10, 2003. Okay, the long title is an act providing for the modernization, standardization, and regulation of the procurement activities of the government and for other purposes. Okay, so take note of the word procurement. Okay, this is the technical term for what you call in your layman's term purchases or buying or acquiring. Okay, procurement, mag-procure, magbili, mag-purchase. Okay, and this is applicable to the government. So the main objective actually of this is to promote the ideals of good governance. Okay, so this law tackles about purchases that will be made by the government. So these are the procedures, these are the guidelines. Okay, the main purpose is to ensure that good governance will prevail. As we all know, maraming kababalitang corruption sa government purchases. So this law was actually made to prohibit that. The governing principles, number one is transparency. Okay. So in all government procurement, there should be transparency para hindi nakatago, hindi siya kaduda-duda. Number two is competitiveness. Okay. We just came from the discussion about the Competition Act. So this procurement, okay, this encourages competitiveness among the prospective suppliers. Okay, so those who are willing and able to supply the government of products, they may do so and they may participate in the procedure of procurement. Streamlined procurement process. Okay, this law actually lay down the procedure, the processes involved in procurement that will be followed by everyone in the government. System of accountability. This law also includes provisions about how to punish lawful acts during the procurement process. So there is a system of accountability incorporated in GPRA. Public monitoring, because the procurement process is made public from the advertisement up to the completion of the procurement. So the public or anyone from the public who is interested to look into the procurement may do so, and they can inspect the documents involved in the process. Scope and application. GPRA applies to the procurement of number one, infrastructure projects, yung pinaka-malaki, pinaka-importante. Goods, as well as consulting services. So whenever government will undergo infrastructure projects, they must follow GPRA. If government would like to purchase goods or supplies for the office, okay, they must follow GPRA. Or if the government would like to engage the services of an expert, they must follow GPRA. So take note of this. Procurement does not only mean infrastructure projects and goods, but as well as consulting services. Okay, regardless of the source of funds, whether it be local funds or foreign funds, basta ginastos ng gobyerno by all branches and instrumentalities of the government, its departments and offices, agencies, including government-owned and controlled corporation, or what we call GOCC, and local government units. Local government units refers to the city, the province, the municipality, and the barangay. So all of them, pagka nag-infrastructure project, bumili ng goods or supplies, and nag-engage ng consulting services ng isang expert, they must follow the procedure set forth by GPRA. So let us first define the important terms. Number one is the ABC. ABC means approved budget for the contract. Okay, this refers to the budget for the contract by duly approved by the head of the procuring entity as provided for in the appropriations. Okay. Ang budget class is actually the common word, but the technical term for it is appropriations. Okay. Ang nagahimog budget actually, although prepared by the Department of Budget and Management, sila nag-prepare, but it will be approved by the Congress of the Philippines. Once it is approved by the Congress of the Philippines, they will enact a law incorporating the budget, and that law is called appropriations. Okay. So, ABC or approved budget for the contract refers to that appropriation. Kung halimbawa yung building, nakasulat doon sa appropriations, 1 million, then that 1 million is the ABC. Okay? And ito naman, BAC. Hindi ito kabaliktaran ng ABC. BAC means the Bids and Awards Committee. Okay, so every government entity, department, agency, local government unit, GOCC, meron silang Bids and Awards Committee who is actually the primary body who is engaged in the procurement of infrastructure project, goods, and consulting services. Ito, head of the procuring entity. The primary person accountable or the approving authority in all kinds of procurements is actually the head of the procuring entity. So when we say the head of the procuring entity, it refers to the head of the agency or his authorized representative in the case of national government agency. Okay, for example, sa isang department, yung pinaka-head nila, yun yung head of the procuring entity. Sa Government and Control Corporation, it's the governing board or the local chief executive, the mayor, the governor, the barangay kapitan, in the case of the local government units. So sila yung pinaka-approving authority, sila nang a-approve. Kasi ang Bids and Awards Committee is only to undergo the procedure. Then, i-recommend nila sa head of the procuring entity. It is actually the head of the procuring entity who will approve the procurement. Okay, take note of that. So in a department, office, or agency where the procurement is decentralized, the head of each of the decentralized units shall be considered as the head of the procuring entity, subject to the limitations and authority delegated by the head of the department, office, or agency. Okay. Bidding documents class refers to the documents, take note, prepared, issued by the procuring entity. So if you are, halimbawa, the city of General Santos, ang head of the procuring entity is si mayor. You never mag-procure ng infrastructure project, goods, consulting services ang city of General Santos. Okay. Ang city of General Santos mismo ang mag-prepare ng bidding documents. Take note sa ang bidding documents is prepared by the procuring entity, not by the bidder. Okay. Si bidder, punta sa procuring entity, magkuha siya ng bidding documents para makasali siya sa bidding. Okay. Actually, ginabayaran nila niya. Competitive bidding refers to the method of procurement which is open to participation by any interested party which consists of the following processes. Okay. So, ang bidding class is, technical term is competitive bidding. Why? Because competing bidders may participate in the bidding. It is an open bidding. It is a public bidding. So, the procedure involved in bidding is number 1, i-advertise kung ano yung ipabid. Then, mag-meeting before mag-bidding. Then, screen yung eligibility, kung eligible ba yung mga sumali. Karapat dapat ba sila sumali? Hindi ba sila naka-blacklist? Diyan yan. Evaluation of bids. Siyempre, i-open na yung bids. Titingnan kung okay ba. And then, kung may napili na, i-qualify ulit to make sure na talagang qualified siya. Then, i-award sa winning bidder ang contract. Competitive bidding is the primary mode of procurement under the GPRA. Okay? So, lahat dapat, okay, it is the aim, objective of GPRA na sana lahat ng procurement galing sa paperclip hanggang sa pinakamalaking building or bridge, dapat naka-bidding yan lahat. Okay? Hindi pwede magpunta ka lang sa mall, bili ka doon ng paperclip, bond paper para sa office, sa government. Hindi pwede, dapat bidding yan. Primary mode of procurement is bidding. Take note of that. Dito maraming natatamaan na political, especially yung mga baguhan. And kala nila pag magbili ng paperclip, bili lang diretso. Hindi nila alam, the mode is competitive bidding. Kasi once you do not engage in competitive bidding, di pwede ka kasuhan under GPRA for not following the procedure. GEPS. GEPS also, they sometimes call this the GEPS, refers to the Government Electronic Procurement System. Okay? So it is electronic, it is online. Currently, ang tawag, ang pangalan niya is PS PhilGEPS. PS means Procurement Service of the DBM. Itong portal na ito na nasa internet is handled by the Procurement Service of the DBM. Okay, lahat ng bidding na nandito naka-post. Okay. So procurement planning. So all procurement mag-start siya sa budget, of course. Okay, pag na-approve na yung budget, it will be meticulously and judicially planned. Yung procurement must be meticulously and judiciously planned by the procuring entity. Consistent with government fiscal discipline measures, only those considered crucial to the efficient discharge of government functions shall be included in the annual procurement plan. Okay, so annual budget, after sa annual budget, magawa ng annual procurement plan. Sulat doon kung ilang bond paper gamitin sa isang taon, anong mga building paggawa, anong mga tulay, okay, ilang ballpen, ilang computer, ilang ballpen nakasulat sa annual procurement plan. Hindi pwede magpabidding ng goods, infrastructure project, or consulting services pag hindi nakasali sa APP. Bids and Awards Committee. This Bids and Awards Committee is composed of several heads of offices ng isang agency, isang LGU. For example, sa LGU, nandiyan siguro yung legal officer, yung city administrator, okay, so on and so forth. Okay. Sila yung actually mag-engage in bidding kasi si Mayor, maghintay lang si Mayor kung tapos na ba ang bidding, sino nanalo, sa kanya i-approve. But it's the Bids and Awards Committee who will actually perform the bidding process. So, then the Bids and Awards Committee, or the BAC, has a technical working group. This is composed of people with the technical knowledge. Example, in infrastructure project, the technical working group is composed of engineers mostly. In the case of goods, they are people who came from the General Services Office na mas knowledgeable sa mga specifications. And then the BAC has also a secretariat. The secretariat is actually a group of people who prepares documents, minutes of the meeting, who takes notes of the meeting. Okay? So lahat ng paperwork sa BAC secretariat. And then ang BAC members, ang Bids and Awards Committee members are granted honoraria. May bayad din sila pag mag-perform ng bidding because that is not their primary function. Yes, additional function dito. But their honoraria must not exceed 25% of the respective basic monthly salary. Okay? So ito yung actual na bidding process, competitive bidding. Ito yung procurement procedure. Number 1 is the preparation of the bidding documents. Take note, ang mag-prepare nito is ang procuring entity, not the bidder. Okay? So this includes the ABC, approved budget for the contract. Yes. I will enumerate the bidding documents, but I do not advise that you memorize this. I would just like you to be familiar kung anong nasa ibig sabihin ng bidding documents. Okay, nakasulat doon kung ano yung approved budget for the contract because the bidder cannot bid more than what is in the contract, in the approved budget. Okay. Pag ang bidder nag-bid siya, ang budget ng building 1 million, nag-bid siya 1,100,000, automatic disqualified na siya because the ABC is the ceiling, the price ceiling. Instruction to bidders, if any. Terms of reference, eligibility requirements. Ang eligibility requirements refers to siguro i-require ng procuring entity na dapat magbid, ang magsali sa bid mga ano lang, may mga business permit. Okay? Yung hindi naka-blacklist, nandiyan yan sa eligibility requirements. Dapat naka-register sa DTI or sa SEC or sa BIR, dyan sa eligibility requirements. Okay? So, hindi pwede mag-bid ang mga kulurong sa tabi-tabi lang. Sa E, ano yung plans and specifications ng project, if it's an infrastructure project. Okay. Specifications ng mga supplies, if supplies. Specifications, anong kailangan ng consulting services, dyan nakasulat. Mga price form, list, bill of quantities, delivery time, kailan dapat matapos, kailan i-deliver, form and amount of bid security, form and amount of performance security and warranty, form of contract to general and special conditions of contract. Okay, so yan yung mga bidding documents. In actual class, itong set na ito is binabayaran ng bidder. If you want to bid, punta ka sa procuring entity, you pay, then this will be given to you. You will use this when you submit your bid later on. Okay, and then take note, bawal mag-refer to brand names. Hindi mo pwede isulat doon sa specification ang gusto namin ganitong brand. No, specifications lang. So if you want to buy a certain computer, you do not put the brand. You just copy the specifications of that computer. Lagay mo kung Core i7, Core i9 dyan, ilan ang gig, ang RAM, ang ROM. Specifications lang. No reference to brand names are not allowed. Okay, disclosure of relations. Yung bidder must disclose that by sworn affidavit that the bidder is not related to the head of the procuring entity, either by blood, consanguinity, or affinity, mga in-laws, up to the third civil degree. Failure to comply with this disclosure shall be ground for automatic disqualification of the bid. So, itong disclosure of relations class, take note of this because this is included in your CPA licensure examination. Ito importante. Dapat i-sabihin ng bidder kung related ba siya kay mayor o hindi. Sworn affidavit. Okay, the step 2, invitation to bid. Okay, so tapos na yung bidding documents, kompleto na. I-invite na yung mga bidders na magsali sa bid. First is mag-pre-bid conference muna, tawag yung mga back members. Then pwede i-invite yung mga prospective bidders. Okay. They will assess kung ready na ba ang procurement. May budget ba dyan? Titingnan nila ulit. I-review. Okay, may approved budget ba? Kasama ba yun sa APP, Annual Procurement Plan? So, kung okay na lahat, then they will advertise the invitation to bid not only sa newspaper. Okay, requirement ng law is sa newspaper, ilagay, i-post sa 3 public places within the, kung for example sa city, sa province, sa buong province, if they're in the Philippines, sa buong Pilipinas. As well as, i-post din sa JEPS online. If my website ang procuring entity, isali din post sa website. Because the invitation to bids are advertised by the procuring entity in such a manner and for such length of time as may be necessary under the circumstances in order to ensure the widest possible dissemination thereof. Okay, kaya may transparency and monitoring by the public. Step 3. Okay, magsubmit na sila ng bid. Usually, ihulog ang bid sa isang box na nakalock. Okay, yung bid naka-seal, ihulog dun sa box. After the deadline, i-open ang bids. So, the first thing that they will do sa habak sa Bids and Awards Committee is hindi mo na nila titignan yung bid. Kasi dalawang envelope kasi ang ihuhulog mo. Number 1 is the eligibility documents. Yung mga business permit mo, nakaregister ka ba sa BIR, sa DTI, sa SEC, nandun yun sa eligibility requirements. Yun muna titingnan. Okay? So, yun lang kompleto sa eligibility requirements. Yun lang ang bid na i-open nila yung second envelope. Ang second envelope, nandun yung actual na bid. Okay? So, lahat ng disqualified sa eligibility requirements, tanggal na kagad din, hindi na i-open ang second envelope niya. Okay? So, lahat ng pumasa sa eligibility requirements, yung lang second envelope nila, yung actual bid, i-open. Number 4, i-open na yung second envelope, yung bid. Okay, evaluate. So if you are procuring goods and infrastructure projects, they will determine the lowest calculated bid. Okay. So hindi yung lowest bidder class yung lowest bidder kasi yun yung tawag doon sa before GIPRA. The law before sa GIPRA. Pero under the GIPRA, it's called the lowest calculated bid. Okay. Siyempre, calculate nila kung sino yung pinakabababang bid. It's actually still the lowest bidder. Okay. It's the latest calculated bid. If the 1 million ang approved budget, ang ABC, o siyempre yung lesser than that, the lowest one is called the lowest calculated bid. Hindi pa siya ang winning bidder class ha. I-calculate lang nila kung sino ang lowest bid. It's called the lowest calculated bid. In the case of consulting services, ginarate nila kung about highest, kasi ang nakasulat doon ang qualification ng consultant. So, i-rate nila kung mataas bang naabot ba niya, na doctorate degree holder ba siya, nakasulat ba siya ng libro, highest rated. I-rate yung qualification niya. So, ang tawag sa bidding sa highest sa consulting services is not the amount but the highest rated bid. The most qualified consultant. Okay? So, yun yung bid evaluation. Step 5, post-qualification, yung lowest calculated bid, yung highest rated bid, qualify ulit. Okay. This is the stage where the bidder with the lowest calculated bid or the highest rated bid undergoes verification and validation whether he has passed all the requirements and conditions specified in the bidding documents. So, i-reviewin siya para sure. Okay. Pag nakapasa sa post-qualification class, ang tawag doon ay sa procurement of goods and infrastructure projects, ang tawag ay magiging lowest calculated responsive bid. So, dinagdagan ng word na responsive, ibig sabihin, lowest bidder na siya, and then, yung bid niya is saktong-sakto, walang na-violate doon sa bidding documents, sa requirements, upon further verification. Ang tawag naman sa consulting services is the highest rated responsive bid. Ito yung magiging basis kung sino man nanalo sa bid. Okay. So, pag na-determine na itong dalawa na ito, it's whether the lowest calculated responsive bid or the highest responsive bid, okay, magkakaroon na ng award of contract. Actually, yung lowest calculated responsive bid or the highest calculated responsive bid, yung BAC, magsulat kay mayor, kay governor, o sa head of the procuring entity. Kung doon ka sa national government, kung sino yung head ninyo doon, department head, o magsulat doon ang BAC. Sabi ng BAC, tapos na namin ang bidding. Ito yung, kasi hindi naman ang BAC ang mag-award ng contract, hindi ang BAC ang mag-approve. Ang mag-approve is ang head of the procuring entity. So, the BAC will just recommend nila, head of the procuring entity, ito yung lowest calculated responsive bid. They will only recommend. Ang mag-approve at saka mag-award ng contract will be the head of the procuring entity. So, the step 6 is the award of the contract. Notice of award will be given to the winning bidder. The winning bidder may be the lowest calculated responsive bid or the highest rated responsive bid. Sino mag-notice ng award? Yung head of the procuring entity. So, the winning bidder will now post a performance security. Performance security class is a deposit in money. Okay, this is to make sure na yung winning bidder will actually undertake yung contract na gi-award sa kanya. Kasi kung hindi niya gagawin yung contract, yung performance security niya, pera na deposit niya will be forfeited in favor of the government. So, panigurado lang ito. Parang kumbaga pa sa piyansa. And then the contract will be entered into, pag kompleto na, performance security na, the contract will be entered into. Pirma na sila ng contract. Then the notice to proceed is issued. Okay, gagawin na yung project or deliver na yung goods. Okay. Siyempre, pag natapos na yung project, na-deliver ng goods, i-inspect yun ng head ng procuring entity. Kung nakapasa, terminate na ang contract, tapos na, ibalik na yung performance security. And then, bayaran yung supplier. Yan. Failure of bidding. There is failure of bidding if walang nag-bid. May nag-bid pero disqualified lahat. May nag-bid, may nanalo, pero yung nanalo ayaw tanggapin yung contract. So, failure of bidding. Anong gagawin after failure of bidding? Pwede mo pa bidding ulit. Okay? Or, they can, if justified, they can now, the government can now resort to alternative modes of procurement. Take note, class, ang primary mode of procurement is competitive bidding. Itong alternative modes of procurement is only allowed in some instances. Now, one of that is the failure of bidding. Number 1 is limited source bidding, otherwise known as selective bidding. Pili lang yun kung sino yung i-invite. Yung mga tested and proven lang, yun lang ang invite to ay bidding, na simplified lang. And not so, pero may ano pa rin ito, may advertisement pa rin ito. And it's not so complicated as that of competitive bidding. Second is direct contracting, otherwise known as single source procurement, a method of procurement that does not require elaborate bidding documents because the supplier is simply asked to submit a price quotation or a pro forma boys together with conditions of sale, which offer may be accepted immediately or some negotiation. Itong direct contracting class is only allowed in case of, case of calamity, okay? When there is a need for immediate action by the government, hindi na pwede magpa-bidding. Usually, ang bidding class will last 6 months or more. So, if there are calamity, pwede na direct bidding, direct contracting. That is allowed basta justified siya. Okay. Number 3 is repeat order. Kapag halimbawa nakabidding ka na dati, okay, lalo na, this involves procurement of goods. Okay naman yung supplier, nabayaran na siya. Then next time, pwede ka na hindi mag-bidding, pwede ka na i-repeat order na lang based on the previous competitive bidding. Okay, basta repeat order lang and it involves goods only. Pwede yun. And meron ding sa procurement service ng DBM class, ang DBM mismo nag-bidding doon sa JEPs nila. Nag-bidding sila ng supplies. So, for example, ikaw, barangay ka, municipality ka, city ka, province ka, wala ka ng time magpa-bidding, bili ka na lang diretso doon sa DBM. Kasi yung supplies ng DBM is na bidding na nila. Dumaan na yun sa proper form of bidding. So, if you are a procuring entity, kung nagmamadali ka, doon ka na lang bili diretso sa DBM, sa procurement service nila. The procurement service of the DBM is actually a department under the DBM na in charge sa competitive bidding. So, pwede ka na doon magbili. Government to government na yan, there's no need for a bidding. Bili ka na lang dito sa procurement service. Number 4, shopping ang tawag, shopping. A method of procurement whereby the procuring entity simply requests for the submission of price quotation for readily available off-the-shelf goods or ordinary regular equipment to be procured directly from suppliers of no classification. Example ng shopping class, si Mayor, may sasakyan, nagbiyahe, biglang naputok yung gulong. O, ala ka naman magpabidding pa siya. Okay, the alternative mode of procurement there is shopping. Sa shopping class is, kung ano yung mga malapit na tindahan, i-quote mo lahat. Si tindahan A, magkano? Bigyan mong papel, ipa-quote mo, magkano ang gulong. Si B, magkano din. Si C, si D, tindahan na letter ni D. Okay, kung sino yung mas mababa at magandang quality, doon bibili si Mayor ng gulong kasi emergency. Pero yung papers na binigay niya kay tindahan A, tindahan B, tindahan C, at tindahan D, yun ang magiging basis niya later on sa procurement. I-save niya yung documents na yun ang i-attach niya sa pag-claim ng procurement involving shopping. And number 5 is negotiated procurement. A method of procurement may be resorted to under extraordinary circumstances. Ginagamit din ito sa mga calamities. Pwede rin yan. Negotiated procurement. Diretso na. Negotiate na diretso. Okay. So that is the end of GPRA. That is the end of our course. And good luck sa exam.